Good morning everybody and welcome back to Video Diary on the Farm. Another week, mornings are getting a bit lighter now. Oh, daylight. Anyway, what we got on this week? Well, there's some corn going out. That's what I'm on with now, just going to start loading when the lorry turns up. And yeah, we've got some maintenance on the video from last week, working on the combine and a couple of other implements. And yeah, we're going to have the spreader tested by Spreader Calibration Services. That's on this week, and one or two other things. And yeah, hopefully it will be a busy week. So anyway, hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch you at the end. Heavy overnight rain, so it's wet weather jobs day today for all of us. So, and I'm on at the minute. The combine straw chopper blades need turning. As you'll maybe be aware from an earlier video, the combine has been fully serviced up. It's on a service plan and ready to roll. But our service plan is what they call a silver one, and that includes everything on the combine, barring wearing parts such as the straw chopper and the combine knife sections. So that's down to us to replace them. If we was on a gold plan, that includes everything, but of course that's a lot more money. So yeah, we get away with doing bits ourselves. So this is one of those jobs. So I'll just show you where we're getting access into it and show you what we're doing. Right, well, I made a start on there. When the plate goes there, which is I put on the floor there, and that's a deflect plate. And that changes it over from chopping to swathing. So, and I'll just climb up here. Right, so taking that plate off. So when the plate's forward, the straw, when the plate's down like this, the straw comes off the rotors after it's been threshed and drops out onto here and then down onto the ground. But when it's chopping, the plate lifts up, you can see what my hand's doing, lifts up vertical. So it comes under here, and down here. Then it guides all the straw down into the straw chopper. So this is what chops the straw up. Obviously you've got swinging knives here, which flail round, and they're fairly blunt now, because it's done a couple of seasons. And then you've got your stationary knives down here, which can be adjusted further in or retracted into there, and that means it alters the length and quality of the chop of the straw. So I can't really see it there until I turn that, but yeah, they're out at the minute. But when they're in, these blades pass through in between them, so it shortens the chopper straw, but it also takes a lot more power. So you only have them in as much as you need them. But yeah, I'm going to set to now, change all these, and get cracked on, and get them done. And then it'll be ready, another step nearer to roll. Just need to do the knife sections then on the bed, and then it will well and truly will be finished. Yeah, there's two knives side by side, the brand new one and obviously the worn one. You can see how that's curved at the edges there. That's good. And then that one, razor sharp. I should perform a lot better with them on. Oh, we're getting on nicely now. Got half of them done, but makes a difference having the right stuff. Got a impact gun with a wobbly end on, so it fits in. That makes a big difference because they're locking nuts on them. But more importantly, got a torque wrench, because when you tighten them up, they want to be all tight and they don't want to be too loose. They don't want to be over tight either, so it shears the bolt, because they're spinning at a hell of a speed. So yeah, we've got the torque wrench set at the right settings, which is 55 Newton meters. So yeah, we'll crack on and do a bit more now, get the other half done. That's it, all done now. So put the plate back on, tidy up. Yeah, typically with straw chopper blades, depending on the use they get, you should get a season out of them, and then turn them over, because they're reversible, turn them onto the other side, the sharp edge, and get another season before you replace them. Well, that's the deflector plate put back in place. As you can see, you can't see the chopper of the rotors, so the straw's deflected into the chopper, and this is up in the air. So when we're swathing, this lowers, like I said earlier on, and that flattens down flat, so it slides the straw off onto here and onto the floor. Yeah, that's what it looks like with the flap down. So you can see the rotors, the straw comes out from them onto that, and straight down onto the floor. Simples. Now, another job we've got to do is to remove the front section of the concave, because with cutting beans last year, it tends to wedge in the concave, the front section. You can get a special concave with wider wires on it to let the beans through, but we're not growing a huge quantity, we haven't bothered. But I'll turn the camera around and show you what I mean. There you go. As you can see, the front section of the concave, the wires, it's full of beans, because the back concave is actually, they are wider apart to aid the throughput, and it's because of the design when you're thrashing straw crops like wheat and barley, and the front wires are a bit narrower. That's how it's been designed. So yeah, I'll take them two studs out. That stud there, and then that front section will slide out. Oh, well, that's the concave section out. As you can see, they're all wedged in. I've had it flipped upside down, a few's dropped out, but I'm afraid it's all got to come out, proddling them out with a bar. Yeah, it's not an easy fix. They've all got to be pushed out from this side. And if somebody asks about pressure washing them out, I've tried it. If anybody asks in the comments, puts in the comments, I've done that. It doesn't wash them out. It expands them and makes them harder to get out. So yeah, I've got to go along and push them out like that. But anyway, keep me busy for an hour or so. Well, that certainly looks a bit better. And that's the pile of beans I've got out of it, so there was quite a few in it. Well, it's that time of year again. We've got spreader calibration services here, and they're going to do a tray test on the Amazon spreader, because first year we're spreading at 36 metres, obviously, and yeah, I want to make sure it's accurate. Yeah, because when you start seeing striping in crops, yellow stripes, where the fertiliser hasn't overlapped enough and all that, that is, it's 20% underdosed at least. So yeah, and that's a lot of yield, so we don't want that. We want it going on accurately, because as you all know, fertiliser costs a lot of money. So yeah, we have this done annually. It also meets the requirement of the red tractor, get a certificate on it saying it's worthy of spreading and its accuracy. It's all paperwork, but it ticks all the boxes. So yeah, we'll see how it's done. Right, we found the field. Now we've got Simon is just setting out his trays, and he's marking out 36 metres. And then all along there we're going to put some trays down to catch the spreader with a gap in the middle for the wheelings of the tractor to go through. There we are. Are all lined out. These plastic square trays with grids in. And when it passes over them with the spreader, this will collect the fertiliser, and we'll collect them up and put them into some test tubes and see what the spread pattern's like. We're going to do the other side now, get them down. It's just marking out another 15 metres. George is now on his approach run to pass through the trays. As he gets near them, he will switch the spreader on, and if you look carefully, you will see the granules are flying up and hitting the drone, or just missing it, but that just shows you how high it is flung and how far back. If you keep watching, that he keeps the spreader running, and it's still running now. This is because it spreads it a long way back behind the spreader, so it's got to catch all these granules in them trays, and he just keeps going, and you'll see when he turns it off, because he turns out from going straight, which is any second now. That's it, he's just turning off now, so he's turning, but that just shows you how far back it throws it, the fertiliser. Now he's driven over it, you can see the granules in the trays. So now we're going to put all these, pick them up and put them into, you'll see like a test tubes all collated together, so we can see what the spread pattern looks like in a line. We're actually spreading extran, which is real big granules compared with the normal nitrogen. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll get it done, picked up and emptied out. See how they are. This is how it's done. Oh, they put them all to one side. George is holding them. Oops. They're all going in there in the tubes. Like that, I'm going to do that all the way across, and then we'll have a look at the how the it looks. So, would you mind explaining, Simon, what we've got here in the trays? Going up at the ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the middle.
Tram lines in the middle.
Tram lines in the middle. Yep.
36 each tube is a metre of the spread pattern.
Yeah.
And we're looking for as level a pattern as possible.
Yeah.
And both sides slightly just
up.
tapering up, which means we're slightly overthrowing it. Not too far, so we'll
That's good.
alter the setting on the machine down slightly to bring the pattern in.
Yeah.
And
try it again. We'll have another go. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for explaining that. Yep, so we've repeated the spreader, altered the spreader slightly to hopefully get an even spread this time. So now we're going to repeat the process what we did before. Yeah, that looks well done, doesn't it? So yeah, better than it did last time. Yeah, everybody's happy. Brilliant. Yeah, these 5 trays, or 2, 4, 6, 7 trays at the end, what's outside the 36 metre, they are emptied into the test tubes back after we've got to 36 metres. So I'll just show you. Yeah, these tubes, as I said earlier, are in 1 metre section, so that's 18 metres there. So when we get to that double one, they're emptied back into these, every tray going back along to get an even representation. Because if you think about it, when the spreader turns round and goes back, it's throwing them back onto here, so that's why they're put into there. But yeah, we're very pleased with that. That's good. We'll get a certificate now that we'll put on the sprayer to say it's been tested, spreader rather, to say it's been tested, and yeah, it keeps everybody right, and we know that it's going on accurately, which is the most important thing. We shan't waste any money when we're spreading, unless we go when it's too windy. Well, that's our fault then. Well, we're still on with our machinery maintenance programme. As you can see, the rolls on in the background. Yeah, they're just getting a grease up, ready for the spring. Hopefully we'll get to use them, because we're doing a rolling at the back end, obviously. We like to roll a bit in the spring to keep the stones down, because then we're growing barley especially, the stones get damage the knives, so we have some what needs squashing down, because some big ones in places. Anybody else runs one of these? Milwaukee battery operated grease gun. Brilliant bit of kit them, especially when you're doing rolls, because when you do these rolls there's loads of grease nipples on them, and you can soon get through a cartridge of grease, which which if you're pumping it by hand, it just makes it quicker anyway with the battery operated one. So yeah, let us know if you have one in the comments below, if you've got one of these. Well, George and Derek are just on with refitting the DD rings. They've been taken off and sent away to get put on, but yeah, look at that, how thick they are. They're clamped tight, where them others was pointed on the old ones. If you remember on the other video. So yeah, they'll see it out. They'll last her a lot better. They are a lot taller as well. But yeah, they're just having to clamp them on because all, get out of the way. Yeah, because they all dropped out of this frame and then they're clamped on with them U-bolts. So they just putting them back in, and then have to adjust all these scrapers so they're not touching the sides. Make sure they're in the centre. That one's touching. That one, a little bit of adjustment on that one, but yeah, and it'll all be good to go then. That's another maintenance job ticked off the list. Oh, we're just having a clear out of scrap this morning. Steel what we took down from that building, it's all off into the scrap yard. We're trying to keep a tidy yard, so yeah, it's all going. We've got some in the bottom of the trailer, so. Well, we're at the scrap yard. Just waiting to tip. Get rid of all this scrap and then we're tidy again. That's it. All done, dusted. 30 seconds. Just thought I'd show you this. This is the wheat we put in after the maize at Melton. It hadn't had a herbicide yet because it was too wet when we drilled it and afterwards. But yeah, it's not black grassland this, it's not bad. A few broadleaf weeds coming, but yeah, nothing serious. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please hit that like, share and subscribe, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you again next week.